Welcome to the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast, where we empower you with weight loss surgery, nutrition knowledge, mindset advice, and inspiration so you succeed in your weight and health journey. I'm your host, Jane Stoltz, and I am a bariatric dietitian who has helped over 1,300 people on their weight loss surgery journeys. I'm also a solo mum, lover of long walks while listening to podcasts, partial to a glass of wine, and the ocean is my happy place. Join me as I dive deep into bariatric nutrition and lifestyle topics and deliver them to you in bite-sized, palatable episodes every Monday. Now let's go. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast. So today I'm talking about a topic I haven't really talked about. It's something I'm passionate about for some time, but I haven't really talked a lot about it on social media or in my podcast. And the topic is why I'm not a fan of high protein treat foods after weight loss surgery. And when I'm saying treat foods, I'm using kind of air quotes, foods that are essentially treats, occasional foods, discretionary foods, and the marketing or the food industry with their marketing have seen an opportunity and putting protein in them and selling them as healthy and healthier and all of that. And I'm going to give you some examples and I'm going to share why I'm not a fan. So when I talk about high protein treat foods, I'm seeing many more of them come on the market. And what I mean by that, examples of these are things like a protein chocolate with extra protein in it, protein ice cream, desserts, kind of puddings and things that they're saying high protein. And while there can be some okay products, I want to talk to you about why I'm not a fan from a few different reasons. And it just maybe it makes you think about it a little bit more. Maybe say, no, Jane, I'm really fine with what I'm doing. That's fine. I just wanted to share my view on this topic. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I'm not a huge fan of having these products regularly in your diet, and what is the alternative? What's my approach? And I'll talk about that at the end. The first one is cost. There's a lot of, often they're very expensive. They're more expensive often than the standard product, and it's all to do with marketing, and protein is a bit of a flavour of the month at the moment. And what I mean by that is it used to be low fat, and now it's high protein foods. So it's food fashion, and we're into, at the moment, protein in all these different products, and they're putting protein in whatever they can and labeling it high protein. But often it costs more, and these products are often more expensive than the standard type of product. So cost is one of them, because I am a very big fan, and I talk with my clients all about this, keeping things simple and being really mindful of where you're spending your money after your bariatric surgery, because there are certain things that can be really beneficial to buy, such as a great protein powder, but there's really kind of great, I call it great bang for your buck. You're really getting some great value there. Yeah, so it's cost is the first one. The second one is the more of the psychological aspect of kind of presenting this food to us, and this is the marketing, the food industry, that this is good for you, it's better for you, you can have a bit more, that it's okay. And I'm not saying that the actual, for example, if we're talking about a high protein ice cream, standard ice cream, I'm not saying that the normal ice cream is not okay. For me, I'm going to talk to you about balance, but presenting it like it's a product that's better for you, that you can, and then that psychology of, I can eat a bit more of it and I can eat it more often. And I want to, I'll talk more about balance, but I just find that comes in a bit into when people are using these products. Not that you're not getting a bit more protein from them, because they have more protein than the standard product, but there's other places that we would want to be getting our protein, not from treat foods, not from discretionary, sweet, occasional, foods we want to eat occasionally. So it's that psychological kind of manipulation, if I could use that word, from the food industry and their marketing. Also, the third reason is essentially you're not getting what you really want. And what I mean by that is often these foods don't taste quite like the food that you normally would like to have. That particular chocolate, that particular ice cream, or that particular pudding or something, that one that has lots of memories attached to it. And when you have it, you really enjoy it, and it's exactly what you want. So we're still really in a place of restriction and depriving ourselves of what we want exactly when we have some of these high protein treat foods, kind of diet. It's another form of like a diet food. So I'm going to go over the three reasons why I don't love them again, just kind of do that. And then I'm going to go into what's my approach, how else could you be tackling your bariatric journey with respect to food choices. So number one is cost, because they can cost more than standard and they can be quite expensive. Two is that psychological aspect of, this is a good product that can get my protein, I can eat a bit more of it. And because often when we're talking treat foods, most often, not always, they are the sweeter foods. Three is you're still not getting exactly what you want. And that's still that psychological aspect of feeling still like you're on diet foods, you're not on kind of that normal food, or you're not getting exactly what you want. That's not exactly that taste that I know from years of really loving a particular food. Now, what can things look like? What can you do instead? And what I work with my clients on is really, and it takes time, is finding balance. Let me talk to you a bit more about that. My goal is mostly whole foods. We're aiming for a diet that's really, you find really enjoyable. There's variety. You're having a diet that's focused around lean protein, but you're getting those other foods in that you really enjoy. And you're getting some sweetness and crunch and saltiness from more of the whole foods. So we're talking great crackers, pastas, dairy, fruit, vegetables, all of those foods that we want to build in to your diet and really build variety. And then we say, well, where are these treat foods kind of come into your diet? How often? What is that going to look like for you? What does balance look like? And so this takes time. This is not the work we do in the early days. This is more down the track. Okay, I really love that chocolate. What's a small amount? We work through the strategies to get to the point where you can have a small amount and feel satisfied. We eat it very mindfully. You get exactly what you want. Know in your heart that you can still eat some of that treat food, some of that food that you've loved for years. Know it's a small amount, but you eat it very mindfully, slowly, and you enjoy it. And it's not a mindless act of eating. It's not eating while you're watching TV and, where did that food go? It's a very deliberate, mindful eating experience, but you really enjoy it and know you can still have some of that treat food in your life. Does this happen overnight? No, it doesn't. It really takes time and it takes a lot of strategies to work through for you to be able to mindfully eat and have that balance in your life. But that is the goal, and that is a wonderful place to get to, because you can go out and you can eat some treat food, know how to manage the situations. And this really comes up very clearly in celebration type of scenarios, Christmas, birthdays, Christmas, like Thanksgiving, where you want to have some of that food that you normally have, and that's really celebration food. And I do a lot of education around this so what does that look like? It's about having on your plate lean protein, some of those other foods, but also having some of that treat food that you really love and that you associate with that experience. Sitting down, eating very slowly, small bites, and eating very mindfully and enjoying it and feeling like you're not feeling deprived and restricted. So that's my goal with my clients. And does it happen overnight? No, it doesn't, but it definitely is possible, and it's the place that we want to get to. Overeating, eating more treat foods than we comfortably can, eating them more regularly, often comes from restriction. We can only hold being in a restricted eating state for so long. And that's one of the eating cycles. There's restrictive eating, there's overeating, And then there's the mindful intuitive eating cycle. So if you are in, I can't have this, I can't have that, none of this, none of that, at some point you're going to break out, and I call it bounce quickly into that overeating cycle. And overeating is where a particular food is what you want, you eat it mindlessly, you eat quickly, you overeat, and sometimes even eat in private because you're not proud of your eating, but it's come from being in that restricted eating cycle. Where we're getting to, where we want to get to, and learn to practice and keep ourselves, like even if we come out of it for a little bit, we go back into it, is that mindful eating, that intuitive eating cycle where all foods fit. There's no good or bad foods, and we feel really relaxed. And we know we can have some of those foods that we really love, but we have them in moderation, we have them in balance, we really enjoy them, we're mindful when we eat them, and we have them as part of our diet. And that's the balance part. So mostly whole foods, keeping things really simple. There is no secret food or recipes after having bariatric surgery. It's all around lean protein, mostly whole foods, and finding balance.
Now tell me, is this you? You have had your bariatric surgery and you're feeling lost, you're lacking support, and you don't know what to eat and when. Or you may have noticed after your surgery, your hunger and cravings have started to return and you are scared you won't reach your goals. You may have had some weight regain and you want to stop the weight regain and lose some more weight. You may be pre-surgery and you want support to be fully prepared for your weight loss surgery journey. If any of these sound like you, then listen up. I have developed my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp just for you. My coaching program provides education, coaching and community for people getting ready for their weight loss surgery and at every stage after their surgery. There are 4 key areas that I focus on with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp. One is the bariatric nutrition basics. You will learn what and how to eat so you feel satisfied, reach your protein and fluid goals, and have less cravings, and know how to manage your hunger in the future. Meal ideas and meal planning. You'll learn to plan meals and snacks that you like, so you have great options on hand when it comes time to eat. Also, we focus on mastering weight regain habits, identifying any habits that are stopping you from reaching your goals, and create manageable strategies to get back on the straight and narrow so you can manage your weight for the rest of your life. And also, I focus with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp on learning to trust your body and food. Start to enjoy your food again by relearning to listen to your body cues so you have less guilt and improve your relationship with food and your body. If you are ready to maximize your weight loss surgery results, feel confident in your journey, and be led with support and expert guidance, then the Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp is for you. If you would like to know more about my coaching program, check out the link in the show notes.
So what are your thoughts on this? Probably or could be like, I do like that. Is this asking you to think about things in a slightly different way? Is this asking you to reflect on what you're choosing off the shelves? And if it is, wonderful. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm giving my opinion and my viewpoint. And I would love to hear your viewpoint and how you can share that directly relating to this podcast. You can put actually in the Ask Jane section. You can go down in the show notes. You'll see the little point, Ask Jane. You click on the link and you can put your first name and you can put your thoughts around this topic. And also you can use that Ask Jane section to ask me a question. If there's something you're confused about, if there's a topic you want to know more about, if there's any question you would like me to answer, you can use that, and that would be wonderful. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for getting to this point or watching the podcast, because I'm doing this on video as well, because my podcasts, if they're on video, I think we're just putting the audio as well in YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel as well. You can go in and check out podcasts and other things there. Thank you so much for your support and look forward to being back in your ears next week. Bye for now.